Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Trading Card Game live video. My name is Jamie and today I'll be taking you through another deck which has come out from the most recent expansion, which of course is Journey Together. But as always, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon Trading Card Game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. So let's just go straight into the deck of today. We're looking at this card here, which is Salamence EX, which is a pretty solid 320 HP Dragon type Pokemon. It is a stage 2 and it has no weakness, no resistance, which is also quite nice, especially on the weakness front, and 2 attacks, which are pretty interesting. So its first attack, Wide Blast, does 50 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Of course, you do not factor in the weakness and resistance aspect of that. And that is for a fire and 2 colors. So that's also quite nice. We can set up some plays with that and just knock out things with not too much HP remaining on the bench. The second attack, Dragon Impact, which is the main focus of this deck, does a solid 300 damage. And you discard 2 energy cards from this Pokemon. And in order to use that, you need a fire, a water, and 2 colorless. So 300 is pretty solid, knocks out pretty much most things in the format. We are still a little bit shy of those stage 2 EXs, things like Gardevoir, things like Charizard, things like Dragapult, for instance. But there are ways of getting over that and getting those one-shots. I think 340 is a little bit out of range for us, but 330 we can certainly do, as we'll find out. But yeah, that is Salamence EX. So what other Pokemon best pair well with Salamence? Well, we have here Blaziken, another new addition from Journey Together. Blaziken has this ability here, Seething Spirit. So once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. This also stacks as well, so we have multiple Blazikens. We can attach multiple energies from our discard pile to our Pokemon, which is pretty nice. And I've gone with a heavier focus here of Blaziken just because I find it's more solid. Once we've got it out, we can also use Small Assault for 200, which is for a fire and a colorless, and during your next turn this Pokemon can't attack. That is fine because we have a retreat cost of 2. So if we have 2 Blaziken in play, what we can do is just retreat the Blaziken and go into the other Blaziken, and then use 2 Seething Spirits, and then attach the energy back onto the other Blaziken and just keep attacking. So it's not really too much of a drawback for us, so that's quite nice. So yeah, so that is the idea. Alternatively, if we are choosing to lead with Salamence, we can also put the energy cards onto Salamence and go down the route of using Dragon Impact and hitting for that 300 damage as well. So yeah, the main focal point of this deck, I would say, is Blaziken and then Salamence being the attacker. That's why we've gone for a heavier line here on Blaziken, a 3-2-3 line, and Salamence we've gone for a 2-1-2 line there. So other Pokemon, other stage 2s that we include, we've got a Pidgeot line there. So Pidgeot is very good in this deck. We do run a lot of rare candies anyway, so why not just utilize the fact that we can probably get, or we can use Pidgeot. So it has this quick search ability. We can search our deck for like those missing pieces that we might need. So that is pretty good. Fezandipiti as well. That's a given really, so if we get knocked out, especially since we're running Budew in here, if this gets knocked out, then we can utilize Fezandipiti and draw more cards. So that is pretty good. Budew's in there predominantly because we take a little while to set up, so it's just a way of slowing our opponent down while we can try and build up our resources and get our stage 2s into place. So that's why we have that. So yep, that is the idea of the deck. That is the Pokemon. Yeah, depending on the matchup, you might also want to lead with Blaziken. There is a lot of Zacian in the format. There's also a lot of Archaladon in the format as well. So we could also try and lead with Blaziken depending on your preference. But that is your Pokemon line. Trainers were looking a little bit like this. So standard things really. Buddy-Buddies, and then we've got 4 of those. Rare Candies, we've got 4 of those as well. We're running Ultra Ball in there. We've got some Nest Balls in there. A spec of choice, we're going for Grand Tree here. This is really, really good with this deck just because you rely on so many stage 2s. Just having Grand Tree means we can just get our basic into stage 2 in one turn, which is really, really nice. And of course, if they don't knock off the stadium, we can use it the following turn and the following turn, etc, etc. So just really, really good card. So it's been very, very clutch in testing, so I quite like it. We've also got, if we do go second and we don't open with Budew, we've got our TM Evolution in there as well. For Arven as well, so we can also search that out. One Crispin if we need it, just to power up our Salamence if we want to. So that is also quite nice. And of course, probably a notable inclusion here, we've got Kieran. So Kieran adds a little bit of versatility to this deck in the sense that we can use it as a switching card. But we can also get our Salamence from 300 to 330, which can knock out a lot of stage 2s in the format. Yeah, things like what we spoke about before, like the Gardevoirs, for example, like, I don't know, Dragapults, etc., etc. So that's why we've got that in there. And yeah, the rest is pretty straightforward, I think. Not really too much to say there. So yeah. Well, we've got a counter catcher in there as well because we rely on kind of going behind, I guess. So that's why we've got that. But you can also ditch the counter, put a pal pad in there and just focus on more bosses and then kind of reutilize the Kierians if you want to. And of course, just if we need the push, just one research. So yeah. Energy-wise, we're looking a little bit like this. 3 water and 5 fire. All recoverable with Blaziken. So that is the idea. We can also recover the water energy and attach them onto our Salamence if we want to. Or even we can put the water energy on Blaziken and just a single fire as well to utilize that. So, but that is the deck. I will leave the list in the description box below if you guys want to check that out and play around with it. Yeah, otherwise I think let's give it a test. Let's see how it plays out in practice. Okay, let's go with heads. Why not? See if we go first or second. So they called, well, they called it wrong. We do have things like we've got a lot of buddies in there. We rely on stage 2s, Nest Balls, Ultra Balls, etc., etc. So so going first is always optimal. However, if we do go second, we also have ways of trying to even that out just a little bit by so cool, nice. We've got all right. I guess we'll start with Torchic active. We'll put Pidgey down. Yeah, if we go second, we also got ways of yeah, evening that out just a little bit. Oh, is that a Charizard? Okay. Yeah. Just by having things like Budew, for example. If this is Charizard, actually, we definitely probably want to go down the Budew route. Although it's looking like we will need to wait a turn before we're able to actually do anything. As our hand is looking very favorable for going second. Oh, sorry, like going first right now. Especially against Charizard. Okay, nice. We got Mulligan. Cool. Budew. All right, we got a Budew there. Yes, but we have to go. It doesn't really make a difference, I think. Cool. All right. Cool. Yeah. So we need ideally an energy or something just to get, or rescue board or something to get that Torchic out of the active. If we can get out of the active, then we can Budew them and try and slow them down a little bit. So, Artisan, okay, that's pretty nice as well. I'll certainly do something with that. So, yeah, we really need to focus on trying to get something. Just thinking in deck, what do we have that is going to enable us, so to say, to let's see. Oh, rescue board, nice, okay. Great top deck. Good stuff. Okay, let's Artisan. So Salamence is going to be pretty useful here. So if we're going to be hitting those high numbers, so let's use. Yeah, let's have a look. So Kieran is in there as well. That's pretty important because I think Charizard has 330. That's fine. Cool. Grand Tree's in there. Something to keep in mind with Grand Tree as well is that they can also take advantage of Grand Tree if they are playing stage 2s themselves. So do keep that in mind. If they're playing like things like Dragapult or whatever, then yeah, you do need to be a little bit cautious of that. So let's see what they do here. I think we've kind of slowed them down a little bit with that. But hand's looking pretty good. We can go Candy into Pidgeot. We can go into Torchic as well. We can get a Rare Candy with which we can get a. Oh no. Okay. We had a pretty nice hand to set up with, I think. That's a bit unfortunate. Never mind. Cool. All right. We can get on the Torchic out. Iono. We can Artisan as well, so that's also fine. We can set up pretty nicely there. They'll get the knockout. We could also flip the script as well. No energy though. That's a bit annoying. Okay, 35 reading. Yeah, that's fine. That's a solid 30. You know what? I'm thinking it might be a good idea. Cool. All right, we've got a pretty decent setup here. So let's get that out. I'm thinking it might actually be worth just getting that Budew back and just accepting the prize here, just to stop them using Rare Candy and getting into into Charizard, even if it means just conceding a prize card here. That's fine. Let's get cool, and one more Torchic, and I think that will be good. Yeah, let's get a Torchic. Nice. Okay, so the setup's pretty nice. So yeah, Salamence is going to be pretty clutch here, I think. Let's Iono there. Need to get some energy cards into the discard pile as well. Okay, is it there? Okay, Rare Candy into Torchic. Okay, might want to retreat that if do we have an energy in discard? We do not. Okay, let's. Yeah, I guess we focus on Salamence here. Let's retreat that. Actually, let's just flip the script first quickly. Nice. Okay, so next turn we can get that out. We just need the energy as well. Okay, that's fine. Let's retreat that into Budew. Let's Candy into Blaziken there. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess we'll concede the knockout back. We can flip the script. We ideally need like a Rare Candy here. We've got Salamence in hands. We've got that. Few pieces of the puzzle here missing. So we need that water energy. We can also vessel that if we have an Arven or something like that. Need a candy there to get our Pidgeot out. A few different things here we can probably do. But certainly, I would say that yeah, we need to knock out that Charmander ideally. Okay, so that's fine. Does activate as well our... Cool. Let's have a look. Pidgey's got 50 HP, we can knock that out. 50-50, that's across the bench, so that wouldn't work. Okay, okay, so let's just put Blaziken for now. Okay, evolution, let's get that down, that's nice. Okay, let's get another. There we go. Let's just get the knockout. Let's just guarantee the knockout on this. Actually, do you know? That's annoying. Maybe I should have used the. Maybe I should have used research there first and then have the axe. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Never mind. Let's see. What can we do? Do we want to get another? Let's have a look. Can we get something else out to set up? I guess maybe another. We would need a Rare Candy to get that out. Let's just focus on another Blaziken. Just get the energy acceleration out. Cool. All right. Let's go with Team Evolution. Yeah. We'll stick that on. Just why not? I guess. Just stick that there. We do need a Pidgeot there. You know what? Let's flip the script. In case we get a Rare Candy, we do not, but we do get another energy in hand. Do we want to? No. Okay. So we'll have to ditch a. All right. Yeah. Well, I think we've already used. Yeah, we've already used a Night Stretcher, so we'll have to be a little bit more cautious of that, but that's fine. Okay, well, let's just Seeding Spirit here. The idea is just to stop them getting out that Charizard. So that's fine, we can retreat that, yeah, and go, okay, cool. I think that's okay, Earthen Vessel, yeah. Just missing that Pidgeot would be very nice, and I think that we'll just go with that and knock out the Charmander. Cool. And then if we, yeah, if they do get a Charizard out, Kieran is going to be pretty clutch because we can get to that. We can retreat this. So next turn, if we does it have the it does have so we would need to get okay. Yeah, another Blaziken, 2 energy through Blaziken onto our Salamence, and then we would just need to put the a single attachment. And we could, with that, use Dragon Impact. But as it stands, they have no way of being able to get out a Charizard right now. So that is pretty good. So we will see. Okay, there we go. There is a Charmander there. Cool. Do we have? I think we've got. Is it 2 bosses in discard? 1 boss. We've got 1 boss in discard. Okay, that's fine. 1 boss. Okay. All right. Never mind. So yeah, that Kieran is going to be pretty important, I think. So we need to take 2 prizes. If we have bosses right now, if we get a bosses, we target the Mew, we get the knockout on that, and we bait them into a Charizard, and then we go Salamence for knockout. That's my plan, so to say. But we do need to get some more Blaziken out, so attach an energy. Just thinking of the plays here. If we can't attack with that anyway. Okay, actually we still need to take another prize card anyway, so it doesn't matter, but that's fine. Cool, alright, nice, so that is good. Cool. So, we need to retreat with 1 on that. How many energy do we have in this card? That's the question. We've got none. So, let's Earthen Vessel. Ditch that. Grab 2 there. That's fine. We can't knock out the Pidgeot though. That's really frustrating. Or can we? But then we bait them in. They've got no cards in hand, though. No cards in hand, but they do have Mew. Okay. So let's have a look. How many in discard? Okay. I think we do this. I think we retreat. The water. Yep. Okay, let's retreat with water. Salamence active. And then we Seeding Spirit. Let's bump that. Let's bump the water. It went on Fezandipiti. It went on Fezandipiti. It didn't go on the. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, why did it do that? I don't know. Oh, that was a dragon, a clicking drag. That's so frustrating. That's really, really frustrating. Alright, well that was not meant to happen. That was meant to be a knockout on the Pidgeot, which is very frustrating. Well, I guess live and learn. Live and learn, I guess. What can you do? Alright, well we can, still not all too bad. We can get the knockout on the Pidgey on the bench, which puts us down to 4 prize cards. If they, cool, let's do that. Yeah, if they don't evolve, actually I don't think they will. Could get a Charizard out next turn. That's really frustrating if they do. They can't knock us out though. It's a 180. I don't think they could knock us out, which is the most important thing. If they don't, then we can also hit another 50 across the bench and try and go down that route. And I believe we still have resources in deck to get a Bagon out, another Bagon, and 120. Okay. Oh, they're actually hitting for 120. Wait, why did they not use Quick Search? That's really interesting. Okay, what a strange game. What a strange game. Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to Quick Search or even to use Restart and then to. Okay, that's really strange. Well, nonetheless, let's just do that because why not? Let's just. Okay, I don't really know what's happened here, but I'll take it. I mean, cool, 3 prize cards, not bad. What a strange conclusion. Going from misattaching that Fezandipiti to misattaching that fire energy onto the Fezandipiti as opposed to my Salamence, we've gone from that to winning game in 2 turns. How strange. Not what I was expecting, but I'll take it nonetheless. Wow, okay. Cool, but either way, I think that gives a good representation of the deck, nonetheless. And kind of how, I guess how Blaziken kind of utilizes very nicely with Salamence and how to hit those numbers. So, but you know, if they had promoted a Charizard, what we would have done is just gone down the Dragon Impact route. We had Kieran in hand. That would have been 330. That would have been knockout on a Charizard. That is a theory, that's a play. But let me know what you guys think of the deck. I'll leave the list in the description box below if you guys want to check that out and try it out for yourselves. But yeah, as always, if you do like this type of content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon trading card game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course like the video, that would be great. But there you have it, guys. That is Salamence EX / Blaziken EX for you. And yeah, thank you very much for watching and see you all in the next one.